The wrecking ball that is my friend Amy. Story time. Hi, Tatty, Joe, and Teeny. Hello, friends. They're just here behind me. First of all, absolutely love the pod. I originally started watching your TikToks, and now I look forward to the weekly chats. Yay! I have a crazy but long story. Names have already been changed. I love it when you already change the names for me. Do you know the mental arithmetic I have to do when I'm changing names on the cuff? So a little backstory. Steve and I have been together for 4 years and got married 2 weeks ago. Wow, congratulations, wifey. Steve is the kindest person I have ever met. We were friends with benefits for a year before I got with my ex, but we were still really good friends, and then he helped me get out of a very bad and emotionally damaging situation. Oof, oh, thank God Steve was there. Am I right? Which led to us dating. Steve looks at me like I've just stepped out of the set of his favourite film. My friends always say he's the golden retriever in the relationship in a good way. We have a friend, Dave, who had his own fiance and baby mama. Let's call baby mama Amy. Amy and I became really close friends. When we moved into our home 2 years ago, she helped me get the house set up while Steve was working interstate truck driving. Wow, I love that. I'm assuming you're American. Okay, you'll have to let me know. I don't know what state you're from. We hung out all the time, and we even considered each other as godmothers for our children. We're both expecting 2 months difference between our children. Wow. After having our kids, suddenly she started to become distant with me, but not Steve. She would always text him and call him. That's odd. That's odd behaviour. She always promised to come over and have a girls' day while Steve was working away. These were always empty promises. However, until Steve got back home. So I'm assuming it's a case of, yeah, babe, I'm going to come over. Like, I know Steve's out. We'll come and I'll bring the babies. It'll be fine. And then that never happens. But when Stevie boy is home, she's like, I'm coming round 6 times this week. See you there. Is Steve home? Brilliant, even better. She would often ask to go for drives in the truck with Steve, which never happened, especially because of a lot of the times he only had his truck to sleep in and he was often away for 5 to 14 nights at a time. Also, Amy, you've got a husband. Why do you want to get him a husband's truck? Weirdo. I stood my ground and said, no fucking way is that happening. Steve respected this and also said the same thing. Okay, I'm glad that Stevie baby is on the same vibe. Amy was the type of person that would talk shit about her friends to me and was so fake. I got to the point that it was so bad for my mental health and my postpartum depression that I stepped back from that friendship. It was toxic and couldn't even get the support with what I was going through. Oh, darling, I'm so sorry. But I'm really proud of you for taking a step back. It's really difficult to take a step away from people you think are part of your support network when they're just not. I also told her I didn't trust her around Steve because she acted so clingy and was always with him that other people had started to notice. That's never good. Amy always said, no, I don't feel anything for him. He's just a good friend. I don't feel for him like that, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. This lasted about 6 months before I tried being civil with her for Steve and Dave's sake. This didn't last long until she was back to the same old Amy. I distanced myself again and she started messaging Steve asking about me like I was, what? She started asking Steve about me like if I was okay and what was going on with me, but she never asked me herself. Steve always said, you'd have to ask her if you really want to know. I like this Steve. Recently, we've had some really fucking good Steves on this pod. It's the thing of like, she doesn't feel like she kind of doesn't have the balls because she knows that she has done something. So she doesn't want to come to you for you to turn around and be like, yeah, Amy, you've been a dick. So she's going to cutesy little Stevie baby because she thinks he's going to mitigate the situation. So for the wedding, Steve and I decided that we were only going to have our siblings as our maid of honour and best man. But we organised to get ready with our closest friends, which we would have as our bridal party if we had a proper one. Okay, maybe we're having a small wedding, so we're just having siblings as the maid of honour, but if we were to have a big fat wedding, everyone else is involved. Amy was supposed to be a part of the group until I told her she was no longer invited to the extra activities, although she was welcome to come to the wedding out of respect because she was obviously Dave's partner and he was obviously going to be coming. This is just deteriorating rapidly, isn't it, ladies? This is just falling apart. Amy asked Steve what the bride... What? Amy asked Steve what the bride, was wearing because she did not want to upstage or outshine me on the day. What? Amy, why are we asking such odd questions? Fast forward a few months later, Amy and Dave have broken up because Dave couldn't keep it. Oh God, I fear. Amy and Dave have broken up because Dave couldn't keep his hands off other women. Amy was insecure. That's my thoughts. That's not what she's written. Amy was insecure the whole time. She wasn't getting the love that she felt she was deserving or she required from her husband because he was touching up other ladies' titties, and that's where she's going after your Steve. Amy wanted to start drama and hurt Dave like he hurt her. So she slept with Dave's friend instead of just leaving him. What? She then started saying that my Steve always wanted her, always flirted with her and would engage in sexual activity with her if she asked any day. She's delusional. She's lost the plot. Luckily, Steve and I are the strongest couple, and this would never break us. I started laughing about it because I know he wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Neither of them came to the wedding because Dave ended up taking Amy's side, even when they were broken up. So he's taking his... What? This is bizarre. I'd been best friends with Dave for 19 years. Steve and Dave were friends for over 8 years. Amy and Dave knew each other for not even 2.5 years. She was a pathological liar, and everyone knows this. Amy managed to destroy one relationship, another one of Dave's friends as well, and 5 friendships of Dave's, all within 3 months, just because of her lies. I apologise if the story doesn't make sense and it's so long, but it all happened so quickly, so I doubt there will be any updates, because I will definitely let you know if there is. Being Amy, I'm really not surprised if something else comes up again soon. There's so much to unpack here. Amy, you've mentioned her, she seems like a wrecking ball. I feel like she's more of a grenade. It's just pull the pin and fire. Let's fucking go, boys. She's like, I'm going to make every person around me hate me. I feel that's what Amy's been after here. So to start, let's unpick this one by one. So to start, she's asking to go on rides with Steve. Why is Dave happy about this? Just, you're not getting in his truck, Amy. Go away. That's bizarre. She clearly has feelings for Steve. Obviously. They've got children together as well. I wonder if he's trying to stick up for her because, feels like he needs to support the mother of his children. At what point do we have morals? I think you have more respect for someone. It shows more respect for someone if you call them out on their bullshit. She's clearly a very toxic person to be around. She's obviously ruined your friendship. She's been toxic because she's trying to imply all this stuff with Steve. I think you've done an exceptionally good job this whole way through of keeping her at arm's distance when she needed to be. She's clearly a very impulsive, reactive woman. And that shows why her relationship didn't turn out, because she's found out this infidelity about Dave, which, let's face it, is awful. However, she's just reacted in the same way, which means that they're both as bad as each other, There's many more ways of hurting people, which doesn't involve sleeping with friends. And like you said at the end, she's just destroyed so many of his friendship groups, which is so bad. It's so important for people to have friends outside of a relationship, and she's just throwing shit against the wall and hoping something sticks. She's doing it with you and Steve. She's doing it with Dave's other friendships. And unfortunately, she's just going to find herself left on her own. Please do let me know if there are any updates on this one, because that is simply barbaric. I'm so sorry you've had a woman like this in your life. You just need to be focusing on you, your child, and your husband, stick in your own lane. And if Dave doesn't want to be your friend, at the end of the day, that's fine. You've just got to allow that. You've got to let it go. One day, maybe Dave will come to his senses, and you've just got to be there to support him. But we're just going to have to accept it.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, oh.